Shalom. This is your brother Tazayah Amar of GMS, Valdosta, Georgia, coming out with another weekly lesson. And I pray that it be edifying. But first, we're going to give all praises and glorification to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Mikakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of GMS, Great Millstone, for teaching us the true knowledge of the Scripture. I want to say Shalom and Ahar to all the brothers and sisters that's striving and thriving in this same 100% true doctrine. And with that being said, today's lesson is pretty much based upon an incident that we had at camp this past camp. There was a gentleman that seemed to come up out of nowhere, and he listened to some of the scripture that was coming out. And as we were going into the different situations that were concerning Jacob's trouble, he asked a question, and his question was, what is the solution? So, them brothers on fire. GMS, Valdosta, Lake City, Florida. Them brothers was on fire. So when they started coming out with the scriptures, they look, they was popping them out just like this right here. So with the scriptures coming out, he had a problem with, what thus said the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Avashai. Which we know when most of the time when somebody asks the solution, they don't want the solution. Not coming out of the scriptures. They want it coming out of, what you think. They want you to come out of your mouth and line up with what they think. In other words, they want you to be carnal with what they want to hear. They want to hear carnality. What he wanted to hear was, okay, a black militant, solution. What we should do, gather arms, go door to door, assault style. That'll never work. Wrong time, wrong place. But that's what he wanted to hear. So with that being said, without ranting any further, my first scripture is going to be Galatians chapter 4, verse 9. But now, after that you have known the Most High, or rather are known of the Most High, I turn you again to the weak and beggarly element. See, that's what this for lack of a better word, this reprobate. He had the look of an Israelite, but he could have very well been a terror. And that was brought out, that he could have very well been a terror. Because his spirit didn't line up with none of the scripture that was coming out. And he had a weird presence when he came up. Very weird. His mannerism and his tone of voice was pretty much bugged out, for lack of a better word. Seemed like he was bugged out. Going back to the book of Galatians chapter 4, verse 9. But now, after that you have known the Most High, or rather are known of the Most High, I turn you again to the weak and beggarly elements. He came up with the idea that somehow or another he was going to change our train of thought. that he was going to teach us something. That we was going to totally disregard what thus said the Most High and listen at him. Whereunto ye desire again to be in bondage. That's what this demonic individual was trying to do. He wanted us to go back in bondage, go back into Christianity. Imagine that. And he was an elderly gentleman too. You know, he wasn't no cockadoodle. He was about through. You know, in other words, he wasn't no spring chicken. And here he is, stuck in bondage, stuck in darkness, as old as he were. I'm sure he done tried everything that's been laid out in front of him, and none of it have worked. The only thing working is coming back to these law, statutes, and commandments. You know, you might prosper for a while in carnality, you know, leaning into your own understanding, you know, thinking that, you know, you can make it on your own. Many people have thought that. You know, that matter of fact, that's the thought process of Esau today. He think that he is God. And with that train of thought, good luck with that, Esau. My next scripture is going to be Romans chapter 3, verse 3. For what if some did not believe? You know, this guy said that he didn't believe in no Lord, no God, no power. You know what I mean? He said that he pretty much said that, hey, everything that was written in that book was fictional. Speaking of the Bible. Romans chapter 3, verse 3. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect? God forbid. Yea, let the Most High be true, but every man is a liar. As it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy saying, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. You know, as he came up on the camp, trying to debunk the scriptures, but it was coming out so fast until eventually, as the scriptures say, resist the devil and he shall flee. Hey, eventually that devil had to roll out. And as I said earlier, hey, he was an elderly guy. He was an old demon, an old devil. But hey, when them brothers start bringing them scriptures out, hey, as the old folks say, he had to hitch up to the ass wagon. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. And with that being said, I'm going to go to the book of Isaiah. The book of Isaiah. The book of Isaiah, chapter 28, starting at verse 7. But they also have erred through wine, and through strong drinks are out of the way. The priests and the prophets have erred through strong drinks. They are swallowed up of wine. This brother was drunk off of that old wine. As I say, he was an elderly gentleman. So he been lugging on that old wine for years and years and years. They are out of the way through strong drinks. You know that old wine had fermented in this brother. All praises to Yahweh Bashem Abishai. I was able to come up with that. That old wine had fermented in him. Yes, sir. That old wine had fermented in him. And there wasn't no way of somehow, getting rid of that fermentation. Yeah. He was locked in. But them scriptures made him get up out of there. They err in vision. He had no vision. Because as plain as those scriptures were that was coming out, and he still couldn't get it. Because he kept saying, you're reading, but you still haven't answered my questions. So, once again, I might have spoke out of turn, but I told him, I say, look, they're answering your questions. I said, but you don't like the answers. I said, your question is being answered, but you don't like the answer. He said, I never said I didn't like the answer. Evidently you don't like the answer if you keep rejecting it. What sense do that make? They err in vision, they stumble in judgment. He was in the right place, but he was in the wrong frame of mind. He saw, other than myself, he saw a bunch of young men that he thought that was somehow or another less intellectual, that was in a less intellectual capacity than him. But let me tell y'all, them young brothers, they told him a new asshole. Literally and figurative. So much to the point, hey, like I say, he had to hitch up to the ass wagon fast, quick, and in a hurry. I'm telling you, without no provisions. And with that being said, my last scripture is going to be Psalms chapter 14, verse 1. And this was the scripture that I was going to bring out. But as I said, here he had to hitch up to that ass wagon. I didn't get a chance to bring it out before he left. Psalm chapter 14, verse 1, starting from the top. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. Because he made that statement. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. Anyone that claims that there is no God, with that being said, they have no fear of the Most High. They have no moral compass. There's nothing that they won't do. They'll kill a baby. They'll burn a church. They'll shoot up a Bible. Because they have no moral compass. They have no fear of the Most High. I don't know about you, brothers, but Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm so grateful and thankful that the Most High have pulled me up out of this world. And that the many times I was at death's door, not the ones that I know about, but the ones that I don't know about. Walking in the shadow of death. Now that's something to think about. I can name numerous situations where I could have been out of here just like that. But what about the ones that you don't know about? That the Most High had you in the palm of His hand. That He had that standard around you. And with that being said, I'm going to close out by saying all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rikakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of GMS for teaching us the true knowledge of these scriptures. I want to say shalom and ahab to all the brothers and sisters that's striving and thriving in this same true doctrine. Shalom. Kram Yasharala. Abba Gabal. Shalom.